Once upon a time, in the story of life, we stumbled upon a deep paradox. We met the elderly, who carried a treasure trove of stories and wisdom. Yet, their hearts often whispered a lonely tune. Some had their children living far away, while the others live in the hushed halls of old age homes. However, as we fondly recalled the warmth of our own households from our younger days, a dreamy spark of inspiration ignited. This spark led to a remarkable idea, an idea to craft an app, not just any app, but one with a heart brimming with empathy, an app that would listen, understand, and cater to the unique needs of the elderly. With unwavering determination, we set out on a journey, pouring 6 weeks of our heart and soul into crafting the Seniora app, starting with just an idea. As time passed and the app grew, it created a cozy digital haven for all of us. Here, both young and old hearts danced to the same tune. Stories flowed like a friendly chat, and the loneliness that once weighed heavy turned into precious moment of togetherness. Today, we stand here humbled by the impact of Seniora. It's not merely an app, it's a living testament to the power of empathy and technology, a beacon of joy, and a testament to the bonds we have forged. We are grateful for your presence on this remarkable journey. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. We are here to discuss Seniora, a project aimed to unlock digital social spaces for our seniors. I am Piyush, and we have got an exciting agenda ahead. But first, kudos to the team that made this all possible, the architects of Seniora: Abhishek, Jagjit, Pradeep, Sumit, Vinita, and me, of course. Your contributions are invaluable. So, coming to the agenda, I will be leading you through the project introduction, its visual element, and the potential impact and the future. Now, let's welcome my co-speaker Vinita, who will delve into the project's origin story, the research and ideation behind the project, and also touch up some visuals aspects. And then we will have these Q&A sections open for all. So coming to the introduction part, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Our seniors often feel isolated in today's digital age. While social media platforms are abundant, they aren't always senior friendly, or their designs are not kept in mind for the seniors audience. So that's where we come in. We are focusing on the individual aged between 50 and above, who are often overlooked in digital project designs. That takes us to our UX challenge. The UX challenges that we focused upon was the small fonts and the complex navigation on the mainstream social media platforms that can be a maze to our elders. And our goal is to just simplify all of these maze and make this digital space more navigable and accessible for them. So before moving on to the next slides, I would like you to imagine something. Like, picture your grandparents and parents trying to navigate a social media app filled with tiny buttons, confusing menus, and overwhelming features. Frustrating, isn't it? So keeping that in mind, as we go through today's presentation, please imagine the scenario that I told us, so that you would be more easily understand the agenda of our project. Over to you, Vinita.
Thank you, Piyush. Let's start from imagining our origin story. How did we even come to creating this product? So, one fine morning, we were all just giggling, trying to ideate the topic for our case study, for which we seeked a problem that could make a difference when solved. A problem that not everyone focuses on at a place nobody cares to notice. Our exploration landed us onto the elderly around us, people over the age of 50, especially Indians, because everyone can relate with the fact that not all our parents and grandparents are tech savvy. Then we started spewing random words trying to make sense of our conversation. When the wizard said, "Have you noticed how the older adults sometimes seem lonely?" The dreamer responded, "What if we could connect them with their favorite people?" The Imagineer imagined an app designed with large buttons and easy fonts for them to connect effortlessly. The visionary said, and we could infuse it with empathy, truly understanding their unique needs. The artist, of course, was ready to paint the app with warm colors and design forums for them to share stories. And at last, our Imagineer concluded, why don't we create an app that bridges connections and overcomes loneliness while giving them a personalized experience? This was our aha moment. What if we could form connections among the lonely, catering to their exact needs, fostering their comfort zones, and design the product worth remembering? And so, Seniora was born, derived from two words, senior and meaning senior and elderly, and era means timeless and ageless. The O in our logo is a symbol of connectivity, the long lost gap we are aimed to bridge. But the remaining letters form an O, which is as natural as the bond of our product and its users, holding valuable contents like their trust and emotions. After this, we started our very extensive research process. Our research process ranged from all quantitative measures, qualitative measures, gathering the entire team of product designers to conclude insights and feedback so we can implement the correct foundings in our product. Even though it's very detailed, we may not be able to showcase that to you here in our presentation, but we will soon be uploading this case study to Behance, so be sure to check the entire study there. Let's begin with our qualitative research. We took immense number of user interviews. We thought, why make assumptions as designers when we can actually sit down and talk to our parents or even grandparents about their experience with the digital realm? We created a questionnaire of 27 questions catering to each and every emotions that our users face. But not just that, we also carried out a survey including 20 participants, and the insights we found were left us dumbfounded. Our five key findings were originated from our overall research methodologies. One, there were a lot of complex interfaces out there that were hindering our users' cognitive as well as mobility loads. Two, there was lack of empathy in each product design. Like we know, all the products out there majorly cater to youth for their revenue models, of course. But who thinks of the elderly people aged 50 and above? That's what we tried to aim. Third, user frustrations. Imagine you are spending a lot of time and energy in a gym working out, building your physical body. But you don't get to cater to your muscle building in a kitchen where you don't find the right amount of proteins. It will get frustrated after a time, won't it? We found out that a lot of users, even though when trying to explore the app, left it in between because it was causing them frustrations. Fourth, they also felt a disconnect with their community. They didn't feel like that app was catering to their needs. They didn't feel that they could find the right amount of content they wanted to consume in today's interfaces. And fifth, and a most important approach for this case study, were their accessibility needs. Not a lot of users and not a lot of products contribute to creating accessible interfaces out there that can cater to an audience of 50 and above. So that's what we took responsibility for.
So, as we transition to our next slides, let's talk about something that's more of an art and science combination, the visual experience. This is where all the magic happens after the research and ideation phase, which my co-speaker Vinita explained. So, first up is typography. We opted for a DM Sans font, which is a clean and a modern font that not only looks good but it also enhances readability As our main focus was on the accessibility of elderly people, we focused on the little details like this that elevates the user experience from good to great. Next is let's talk about color. So our palette is nothing like a random selection of like pretty hues color. It's a carefully curated set of colors designed to evoke the warmth and inclusivity in the product. So think of it as the emotional tone of the project. Now onto the accessibility and inclusive design. We have gone beyond the basics here, from adjustable text sizes to high contrast modes. We have integrated features like uh, to meet the web content accessibility, which you can see on the slides too, so that everyone, regardless of their tech savviness, could easily use. Now, more than pixels, the art of UI design. Moving to the UI design screens. The first is WCAG checked and deployed. We checked each and every screen with the Web Content Accessibility Guideline 2.1 defined. It complies of different levels, the A, double A, and the triple A, so that we applied it on every step of our products to increase the contrast ratio for elderly people. So starting from this, which you can see is the splash screen and the onboarding too, we have applied all these accessibility guidelines in our product. Next is accessibility. We wanted our users to find their belongings, so we started by helping them customize their uh, product from the very start. As you can see, we can set the language which you want to be shown the content in. If you have some hearing problem and you want hearing aids, you can easily access the uh, ear icon on the top, and you can use that text to speech feature with this icon. We have also set up the text sizes from the slider, where you can change the sizes of text as per your uh, need, not leaving the closed captioning behind. So we also know the importance of the closed captioning when it comes to accessibility. Thus, like, our experience is curated to meet that need too. As you can see, we have also explained in this like what is closed captioning and how you can turn on, or you can turn on it later on the settings.
Then we started with our Seniora onboarding. We wanted our elderly to know exactly what they were getting into and exactly what we were catering them for. We wanted them to know that they could celebrate connections if they join us. We wanted them to see that they could browse content that was catered especially for them. And of course, we wanted them to know that accessibility is right under their fingertips. Then we focused on voice assistant and other accessibility settings. We wanted to make them as easily accessible for users at each step of the way that they would be browsing our app. We gave them features to not just speak to our app, but also to type inside our app and guide it however they want their needs to be met. Then we curated a vast feed for our users. The kind of content they would actually like to see was gathered from our interviews and surveys. Users told us exactly what they needed to see. They wanted religious content, they wanted hacks for their daily lives, they wanted a feed that they could enter in, browse in, and they could connect with people, right amount of people that they needed whenever they needed.
Now coming to the conclusion and next steps. In this, we will be discussing about the impact and the future of this particular project that we have kept in mind. So the summary of an impact is like our design interventions has not only improved the usability but also significantly enhanced the user emotional. So our user were elderly users, so it also invoked an emotional aspect of the application to the user. Coming to the future direction, so we were looking to expand our feature set to improve accessibility further than text and closed captioning and voice assistance. We would like to explore features to reach the broader audience of accessibility area. Thank you.